guys, I am doing a local comparison now to Coles, and I'm going totally against what I have said before in regards to I don't like comparing fruit and veg because it fluctuates so much. However, because this is dedicated to local, I did go to a local fruit barn, I guess you want to call it. So you got like your baker, your butcher, your fruit and veg barn, and I picked up some items there because I was really keen to see if there was a massive difference in fruit and veg. Like the Coles are ripping me off with their produce, and is it cheaper for me to pop down and get some fruit and veg from my local fruit and veg farm? This is actually part one of part two. I'm going to pop out on Sunday and I'm going to go to our local farm. We have a farm in inner city where we live. And I'm going to pop out there and look at their prices as well, because you will see when I'm about to show you, I'm a little bit disheartened on the price. So at my local fruit barn this morning, I spent a total of $43.65. I found things to be quite expensive. This fruit barn here used to be quite cheap, and I do know since COVID their pricings have gone up. Now, I don't want to compare the prices to Coles versus the fruit barn, the local. I'm going to call it the local, but I have to use something as a benchmark. So I am going to use Coles as my benchmark. So the prices as of today, keeping in mind things do fluctuate, but for example, these bag of potatoes, so this is 3 kilos of potatoes, I got for $6. Now I can get that cheaper at Coles. I've been able to get potatoes at Coles down to like $1.25. Tomatoes were extremely expensive, $7.99 a kilo, and they're currently $5.99 at Coles. Massive difference there. I think this was the biggest shocker for me. These apples, Granny Smith apples, and just to prove my point here, guys, what do we got? Granny Smith apples. They were $7.99 a kilo. I paid $10. $10 for 5 apples. Same with the oranges. The oranges were $7.99. I paid $9. $9.91, and I got 4 oranges. Really shocked at how expensive it was. Strawberries were $3.99 for 500 grams. Now at Coles they're $3.50, but you only get 400 grams. Probably on par with the same pricings. Half a rock melon was $3. Half a watermelon was $2.99. But as you can kind of see here, let me try and take it out for you. I actually got the yellow one as requested for my son. He wanted to try it. So I got him the yellow the yellow watermelon. I do think it's called something else, but let's just go with yellow watermelon for now. These here, these sweet potatoes, they're called purple or golden sweet potatoes. They were 99 cents a kilo. And I think this is what the fruit barns do. And I have noticed this before. They put the big billboards up the front. Whole pumpkin, 99 cents. A whole bag of carrots, 50 cents. A whole tray of mangoes, $10. And that lures you in. And then while you're in there, you grab something else. And then you grab something else, and this something, and this something, and this something. They ain't cheap. They were not cheap at all. I even tried to reduce the price by going to the ugly section, and their words, I got ugly cucumbers, ugly broccoli, and I'm trying to do this from my camera and I can't see properly. I got something else that was ugly. Ugly peaches. Still quite expensive. So these worked out to be $4.99 per kilo for broccoli. Peaches were, was it $2.99, which wasn't too bad. I usually pay $3.50 at Coles, but I'm paying for premium at Coles. Coles do have their own ugly section. Don't know if they have peaches and what their prices were going to be. And cucumbers. They're ugly cucumbers, which are totally fine to eat. Maybe they won't be as fresh for long. That's actually a little bit soft on the end there. Maybe I've had that pushed against something. They were the same price as what I'd pay full price at Coles. So I'm not going to lie, I'm quite disheartened how much money I spent. I actually put this into if I was going to shop at Coles, and for what I could have gotten at Coles came in under $30, and I've just paid $43, almost $44 for this here. So not overly impressed. I did pop out to the local bakery. I do not need bread. I cleaned out my freezer the other day. I got a lot of bread. So I didn't buy bread, but bread at the bakery was $3.20. Not too bad. At Coles, I can get it for $2.70. I find bakery bread doesn't last as long, and when you freeze it, it kind of like warps and almost becomes dehydrated. Makes me question what's in my bread. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But the next time you see me, I'll actually be washed because I've had a run today and I'm all hot and sweaty. And I look a bit average. I need to wash my hair as well. But the next time you see me, I'm going to go to our local farm, like your farmers markets, grab some produce there, and see if that gets me a bit more excited on things. Like, I need more potatoes, because we will go through those. So let's see if I can get some basic fruit and veg and what the pricings are going to be there. Okay guys, it is late in the evening on Sunday. Went to the local farm and got some produce. I paid cash for it. Sorry, my kids are watching TV in the background. Look, it's really hard to compare fresh produce. It is really, really hard. But look, overall, after spending years and years and years of buying groceries every single week to feed myself or my family, the best thing I can say is you need to shop in season with seasonal produce. Now, we love eating apples in this family, and apples in summer, they're not a summer fruit, they're actually a winter fruit. I think what is hard these days is you expect to go to like a fruit barn, a local fruit stall, the farm, the farmers markets, and because you're buying more direct and you're cutting out the middleman, so where we go, we actually shop directly with the farmers. Yes, they have to still pay lease for their little lot that they have, but the prices aren't that much different. So like I said before, going to like a fruit barn, they've always got those big signs, a whole pumpkin 99 cents. You think, great, let's go grab a pumpkin, but everything else is kind of more expensive. Or bananas, a bag of bananas for $2, and you think, gee, I pay $4.50 a kilo, let's grab those bag of bananas. But then tomatoes are $7.90 a kilo, so everything varies so much. So it is really hard to compare the Coles to the to your local produce compared to Coles, compared to Woolworths, compared to Costco. They're all going to have their own savings to some degree. The only thing I can say with fresh produce is if you shop in season, it should be cheaper. If you love a certain fruit that's not in season, you can always look for frozen options or tinned options. Or as I do, you'll see in some of my grocery hauls that if an item is too expensive but we really like it, I won't purchase 10 of them. I won't buy 10, I'll buy like 4, then I'll bulk up with other things that are cheaper and in season. The only thing I really struggle with is that their prices vary every week. So some weeks I can pay $7.90 for apples, and then the next week it's $5.50, but then the next week it's back up to $7.90 again. I get the farmers and the supermarkets have like a buying scheme and they purchase certain pickings at a certain price. I just find it a bit weird that the prices do vary so much. I would love to support more local and direct to the farmers. And we do that with certain produce in our home. We do it with our red meat. It's just a shame for those that are really on a budget wanting to look where all their pennies are spent. Trying to support local sometimes doesn't come out as cheap, which is weird because I can buy like a fresh loaf of bread from the Coles bakery, like the fresh white loaf of bread from the Coles bakery. I think it's like $2.50 where I am. I go to my local bakery, and to get the same thing, I'm looking at like $4.70, $4.20. Both cooked fresh that morning, sold the same. Both stores have to pay rent. It's in the same shopping center even. There's just such a big variant, and I just thought it would be cheaper to support the locals. I get they have higher costs because your Coles and your Woolworths are more competitive because they have more stores, they can be more competitive with their pricings, and they do buy in bulk so they can get better deals with the farmers or their local manufacturers. It was just a bit more of an eye-opener for me, wanting to support more local, but then you look at your bill, and for some people an extra $10 or $20 a week over 52 weeks a year, that is a lot of money that is spent that doesn't have to be spent on groceries. Like I said in my recession project series, groceries, rent and mortgage, they were the two top things that came through for people's for their highest expenditure in their weekly
monthly, fortnightly budgeting, groceries was bang on up there. So I'm just trying to help bring that down and do this comparison to sort of show you guys the difference, so you can make up your mind on how you want to try and spend your money the best. Anyway, that is the end of the local haul one. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably a bit of a shorter one, but yeah, that's all I really had to show. There was no tin produce. It was literally fruit and veg, and I did go to a bakery. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk soon. Bye.